Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com live recap chat room webinar. Well, today was kind of game changing. It really was. I saw a lot of traders in our great room. A lot of new traders have come in. I think we had 7 monthly new subscribers come in last night, total of. And I was just, it's really, it really motivates me to get up at like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning here in California, and just because all these new people come in, and I really want to perform at my best. I want them to see just what this room, the value of the room is. And then I love trading so much. My passion continues to grow. I never get tired of it. And I love trading with the people in the room, especially, the mods, the fires, the dark sides, Janny, Dave the Trader, Palmer, Raphael when he comes in. I really enjoy B Trades. B Trades has taught me a lot, just in a short time being here, and it's really helped me to accelerate my small cap game. Because, when you trade a room like this, you have to trade everything. We're not one-dimensional in here. We don't just focus on small caps, $5 and under. There are a lot of rooms out there that's their specialty. Then there's the option room specialties. Then there's the small group specialties that they only do, MU, NVIDIA, Apple, the same crap every day, 5 days a week, because they're limited on their ability to want to learn any more. So they have their rooms. And then you have the copycat rooms that, we all know that kind of copy what we do in a sense and just kind of use our guidance. But then you have this room. And this room is it's very demanding because you come in here and your bank account ranges from, I don't know, $1,000 cash to $1 million to $5 million. So I have a variety of traders in here that, my job is to provide the absolute best calls out there live. And a day trader, the whole aspect of a day trader is to catch the movement of a stock, whether it goes up or down, and make money on that movement. That is a day trader. That's what we do. Swing traders, where we get a nice, like right now we have a couple swings going. PTE, I think that'll hit 15, 16 by Monday or Tuesday. We've got I think LQDA is a decent one that should probably hit a point and a half to the upside. Get block trades that will end up moving back up as well. But then we get, the analyst calls like ANET today that, stock's going to go to 320, 325 by probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. And we're catching it at 310, 305. You know what I mean? So this is the kind of room that, I made a comment. Apple was coming out with an event. The stock was sitting at 179. I said buy 185 calls. Today with the help of Janny, the stock is 196. So if you had bought, let's say 190 calls into the event, and as soon as the event comes, you short it. I mean, you can literally be buying 190 puts right now. And the event comes, you're going to get paid. But a lot of people don't know that. So they won't trade it, or they won't announce it, or they don't have the balls to tell you, because they're not at this level of trading. They're learning the game still, especially people 5 years and younger that own rooms. It's still a game. They're just learning the game. Today I'm going to show you about 5 or 7 stocks that literally would have changed your trading career today. And I'm going to start with SPI. Now, SPI, I just did a nice 20-minute scenario with the great room. Today, SPI basically came out with a headline that they completed their Greece transaction. To me, that is what we call rehash news. All right, so it was already up. I believe the stock was sitting around $6, $5.56. So I told the chat room, I would take the stock probably to $7.50, and I'll show you why in a second, to $8, and then the stock will come down to 4 and under. with an ATM to follow. Now, I really want you to understand this call. I'm literally telling you that you can literally go long in pre-market and expect the stock to rush out of the gate. Then I'm telling you it's going to stop, right, and pull. And then I'm telling you where the stock's going to stop. So I'm giving you every kind of information for you so you could start your day like, okay, so he's got this going to 7, 7.5. I could scale in short. He's telling me it's going to go to 4. I'm going to make 3 points. I could do 1,000 shares and make $3,000 on this trade. That's correct. Now, the key to this trade was just to look at the history of the stock. Okay, everyone knows that's been in small cap world. SBI is a former runner. And so in former runners, you just basically pull up a 6-month to 1-year chart, and you could see every pop is a drop, pop and a drop. These are former runners. These are popping, and then they sell off. They pop and sell off. Every news event, pop and sell off, pop and sell off, pop and sell off. See how many articles they put out? Just right here in a 3-month period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They do it so often. See the last one? You see that one? 6 million shares that day. And then another one, 10 million shares. See? And they pop it 3 to 5 or $1 to 4. This is what they're known for, this stock. So today it was just no different. Today they put out a rehash that they completed a transaction. So all that did was tell me to the traders that the stock was going to go to $4. This stock will end up $4 and under. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. But before it gets there, to set you up, I got to get the sheep to chase. What are sheep? Sheep are in a chat rooms that, they're uneducated traders. They only do what the moderator tells them to do. They don't think for themselves. They don't study. They don't do homework. They just follow a leader. That's it. And that's what sheep do. So if you're in a sheep room, you basically go, I would buy here $5.80. Then the sheep go, and they start buying it up. $5.80, $5.90, $6. And they chase. That's what sheep do. They're just doing what they're told to do because they don't know how to think for themselves. And then the short sellers in the room, which are the mods and the ones that understand this, what sheep do, they're just smiling. They're just like laughing. You guys are so stupid, but okay. Because what they're doing is they're trying to jack it up so they can get in there with size on their short. And what do I mean by size? 40,000, 30,000, 25,000, 60,000, 40,000. They're just trying to nail as much size as they can, And there's not a lot of them, but the few that know what they're doing, they're going to size up. So you get the sheep chase it. You got the short sellers to add, which they're also driving the price up because everyone wants to get the best price. I said the stock would go to about 7.5 to 8. And the reason is because if you look back on a 6-month to 1-year chart, it topped at 760. So I figured with this kind of news on a rehash, that's probably what it'll go up to. So that's where I called it. And then I said the stock will fade off all day long and hit 4 and under. And you can clearly see where it's going. And before the end of the day, the stock will be sitting at 375 to 350. Okay? So I want you to see how I wrote it up. So gapping up 200%, long the stock. Now, the people in our room, they're not cheap, but they also know how the trade works. If AJ's saying it's going to push to 750, that's probably because he knows the sheep are going to chase it in the other rooms. But what AJ knows that everyone else doesn't know is AJ knows it's going to 4. So AJ will put the dollar amount way before the market even opens. So he can let everyone know in the chat room how much money they're going to make. Now imagine that. Imagine being in a room where the guy can tell you this is where it's going to stop and this is where it's going to end up. And in between, you can make all that money. Now, I'm not saying day trading is easy for you, but day trading is very clairvoyant for me. I'm not saying it's easy, but I could see this shit all day long. I could read each stock and know exactly where it's going to go and why. And that's why people pay me. That's why people come in. But what I really want to do that's different is I want to educate. I want the trader to find it for themselves. I want the trader to read the news for themselves and to know going in how the stock's going to react. That's more value to me than just following my lead. I want them to know the more a trader learns, the more they will earn. And they won't have to do another job. This could be their only job. And then lastly, on this stock, I want you to know that if you have limited capital, and I mean limited, let's say you only have $1,000 on your credit card, and you open up a platform with $1,000 cash account, and they basically give you 6,000 buying power to work with, whether it's Robinhood or TradeNet or Cobra or whatever these places are. And all you have is 6 grand to work with. And you only have $1,000, and you're a part-time worker because you work at JCPenney's or you work at the mall, or you're a college student, or you're a retired person that doesn't really have a lot of money, and you're just trying to make a few bucks to buy a few things. All right? Well, this is a perfect setup for you. All right? Because if you have $1,000 and you need to make a quick buck before you go to work, right? Let's say you're a police officer, a librarian, a school teacher, and you got $1,000 in savings, 10,000, 6,000, $1,000, just $1,000. You open up a platform, you got 6 grand to work with. You come in the room before you go to work as you're getting dressed, taking your shower. Market opens, you take 500 shares short at 7 with your money, right? Because 6 times buying power. So what's 5 times 7? 3,500. And literally, probably before you get your first cup of coffee in 30 minutes, do you realize your 500 shares and your $1,000 that you have? In 30 minutes, you made $1,000 return on your money. Because I told you how the stock was going to react when it opened. I told you it was going to pop, and I told you where it was going to go. In 30 minutes, you could have took your $1,000 cash from your credit card and made $1,000. This is the reality of day trading. This is what day trading is all about. The ability to make money with very little money, or to make big money if you even know. Now imagine that same trader taking 10,000 shares short. He would have made $20,000 in 30 minutes of work. But this is a really good trade for a part-time trader. 500 shares, 2 points, $1,000. He or she could have took that $1,000 they just made, paid back their credit card, and they used their cash. Now they have $1,000, and they don't owe anybody anything. It's their money. Now, is trading easy? I don't know. You have to listen to what I just said and decide for yourself if trading is easy. Let's go on another one. This one is called CAG. Now, I woke up this morning up around $550, almost $600, and I held it because I knew it was squeezed at the open. Yesterday, every day, as a part of Awesome Calls now, and I've been doing it since January, I've decided to open the world up to earnings. I mean, really open up to earnings. So what I do is I do live, and I'll do it today. I do massive research, and I do it very quickly. I analyze very quick, very fast, but whether a stock's going to perform well into earnings. I evaluate and make a decision out of, let's say, a dozen stocks, which one I'm going to go long or short. Well, CAG was my call yesterday, and I don't trade CAG too often, but what the information that was provided to me, and I did this live in front of everyone. There was no secret how to read this. You know, I talk to people. I'm telling them this is what's going to happen. This is what I see. Now, it doesn't. If the trader doesn't want to make the trade, that's up to them. If they're going to talk themselves out of making the trade, that has nothing to do with me. My job is to present them the facts, and the facts showed me that this stock was going to perform into earnings very well. All right, so I took long pre-market before the close right here. This is me. $22.89. 1.4 million shares, right? That's not me, but I didn't do 1.4 million. I only took 300 of that 1.4 million. Okay, but you could see the volume on this thing. So I went long on the decision that this should perform well into earnings. This morning I woke up and I was already sitting at $24.80, 50, 60 cents. I figured there was a ton of short sellers in here, thinking that we're going to miss. So I decided to wait for the opening bell, and I'm glad I did because I sold. You could just hear me clicking away. I sold 100, 200, and 300 shares, and I just nailed it for $817 on 300 shares. It was a beautiful trade. I enjoyed it. I did it live, and everyone could hear me click and sell, and I was in such a good mood. But this just goes to show you that when you start really understanding how stocks work in the market, the more you learn and understand this, the more money you're going to earn. Now imagine if you would have took 500 shares, you would have literally made $1,200 when you woke up. Imagine 1,000 a week in your pocket, 1,000 a day. It's $5,000 a week. That's 20,000 a month. That's $250,000 a year. Now I don't know what you do for a living, but I'm trying to show you that you can do this for a living. You just have to apply yourself. And I think instead of really trying to talk yourself out of doing it, maybe after listening to these webinars, you kind of talk yourself into doing it. And that's what I hope that I try to teach people. So I want to show you another one. This one was pretty fun. This is Bib. Now, Bib took a hit this morning. They were down $88 a share. All right. They have decided on phase 3 they couldn't make primary endpoint on their Alzheimer's disease drug, and they decided to walk away from it. Now, this stock is going to get punished, but on its way down to 220, I even told the room when I started the webinar, take it short at 226 and expect a 225 pull, and it's heading down to 220. Just so you know, so I have some traders shorting the stock as I'm talking to you, and it just hit 225.01. Now, this particular stock, it based this morning at 230. It did, and it was just a nice play. I did it personally myself from 230.84 or 87, and I sold it at 232. I think it was 17 or 22. I had so much fun with it. But they were basing for the first good hour between 230 and 235 and 238. So pre-market, you could see the 230, they bought it up. And I even made a point on Twitter to start picking up the 230s and bounce it each time. But about an hour and a half into trading, the big boys came out. And the big boys are the Goldmans, the JP Morgans, the Citibanks, the guys you don't want to fuck with. Okay? I don't care about the William Blairs and the Concords and the BMOs. No, I don't give a shit about them. But when Goldman comes out, and B of A comes out, and JP Morgan comes out, you pay attention. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours into trading, I noticed it was starting to get heavy right here. You see it? And so I made the decision. And so I looked up and I went to scan, and I have briefing on the side of me. And I looked up and I saw briefing ended up Goldman and JP Morgan both downgraded the stock. And I went, uh-oh. Because I was going to bounce it again because the chat room was telling me, AJ, 230, 230, 230. And I was like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. So you see how, like, Nomura is 320? Well, Nomura, this is not their world. They don't understand this stock. All right, so my job, my 16 years of trading tells me which ones to look at and which ones to ignore. If I would have paid attention to Nomura at 320, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be calling it 220 decline or 225 because Nomura thinks it's worth 320, and if this stock is 220, oh my gosh, we can make $100. Okay, you see how stupid that is? You see how Concord's got a hold? Okay, you see all these others just constantly Oppenheimer 290? You see, I don't care what they think. I don't care about Stifle. All right, at 233. You're meaningless. I care about the big boys. And Goldman came out and said, here's BTIG. Hold on, I'm looking at B of A Merrill. Hold on, I'm looking for Goldman. Mitsu, I think it was right here. Gosh, where is it? I'm trying to find it. There's JP Morgan. See JP Morgan? Now, JP Morgan came out and boom, they announced. So I value JP Morgan. There's Goldman Sachs. Uh-oh, uh-oh. And so I said, hold on, hold on. And then I wanted to see. Goldman has 286, okay? But I was interested in JP Morgan a lot. So what I did is, I was looking for it. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my gosh, did they take it away? So, gosh, it's so hard. Mitsu, B of A, B of A. It should be right here. Well, anyway, long story short, oh, it's right there. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It's right underneath. You see this? Now, this is very difficult to teach someone. And the chat rooms that came from here that are listening to me right now, I really can't teach you this. I'll do my best so you can look impressive to your subs, but try to take notes because I know you're listening right now, how I figured out that the stock would sell off more. You see how JP Morgan put a neutral, but you see their price reduction? You see that 436 they were before, and the stock was sitting at what, three something tonight, 320? Well, when they come out and drop it by $200 a share, this makes the stock about $220 to $200. This is a huge, just a huge reduction. And right then and there, I said, this stock is going to collapse. It's going to fade more into close. And that's exactly what's going on. So what it does is it tells the traders, okay, so I could just short from here on or just buy puts, right? You buy 220, 210 puts. And but for the most part, we really traded it very well. It was exciting in the room because we just kept bouncing it. And each bounce was 5 points. And you could tell 1, 2, 3, 4. But right around here, I started to sense something was going on. And I started to see this slow sell-off. And I started more sellers than buyers. And then I made the decision the stock was going to be just, it was going to be done. It was done. So that was really nice, really impressive trade from pre-market all the way up for about an hour and a half. The next one that we did really quickly was Jenny Moore. Jenny Moore brought up Apple this morning, and a lot of traders took this this morning. Jenny felt that the stock was going to make a solid run. We have been on this collectively in the room since they made their announcement. They were going to do an announcement upcoming, a big thing, meeting or whatever, and for products. And usually what happens on Apple events, I'm sorry, an event, and what happens on upcoming events, the stock gets bought into the event. And that's what's happening right now. It's just being bought into the event. But apparently the spiel is they got some really crazy stuff going on. They're going to really be innovative. They're going to show different things. It's going to be exciting. So everybody wants a piece of it. Problem is once the event happens, you have to understand, they buy into the event, but the money's not going to come for a while. So the event will be sold off. So literally, if it hits 200, you could be buying 190, 192 puts, 189, 188 puts. You can start looking at them now. Just look when the event's coming up, and I think it's the 26th or something like that, and it'll be sold off. But when they announced the event, it was about 5 days ago when the stock was sitting here at, I believe, I called it 6 to 7 days ago. I think I did. When it was down here, right here, I called it. I said buy 185 calls into the event. You can go to my Twitter feed, and within 3 to 4 days later, it already hit 185. 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, and then Janny this morning got up pre-market and said there was a massive upgrade on the stock as well, and so he said into the event. So he called for a long, and I believe he mentioned what calls they were going to do, 195 calls or something like that, and people bought them. And the stock has just made a monster run off his call this morning. So well done. Nice upgrade and everything. He caught that this morning. So I have to give that props. The other stock that we did was a stock called GII. I know a lot of you, it's an apparel company, and you don't trade this wherever you are. And I get it. It's okay. It's your moderator is very limited on his ability, and so you don't get these kind of beautiful calls. Well, GII was Just absolutely a stunning trade. Problem is that he had a lot of bag holders that wanted to sell into the call, sell into the earnings. I kind of anticipated that. And the stock was gapping up. Now, GIA has a history of squeezing at the open. I've played it many times. I've actually lost money over the years trying to understand the stock, but now I'm at a place in my life where, in a time in my life where I can really just understand the stock very, very, very well. And so my point was that I think if the stock pops, look for the pullback to 37.50 and go long. And the stock will go to $39 to $40. And I know a lot of you are sitting here going, there is just no way you're that good. There is no way anyone is that good day trading. I'm sorry. Well, this is a whole other level of trading. It's understanding how the stock works during earnings, reading the report. I read the report. I read the guidance, what they were offering. I do my homework. Massive research went into this call. And so I made the point that the stock will pull to 36.50 and then go long to 39.40. And you don't believe me? I'll show you the call. It's right here. GII. All right. If it pushes to 39.40, that's great. Take the stock to 36.50 and go long. See how it says that? 36.50 and go long. That's it. If it pulls, 36.50. That's all you need to know. Can you be a sheep and come in here and go, blah, blah. Where should I buy? Where should I buy? 36.50. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Where's it going to go? 39 to 40. Thank you, sir. That's it. You don't have to think. I've already done that for you. If you don't want to think and you just want to click in and out, that's your stock. Okay? So here you go. Ding, 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 ding. If it pulled at the open at 36.50, there it is, 36.58. Long the stock. Said the stock would go to 39. There's 39. See, a seller came in, sold 40,000 shares in our room, and it went longer. Now the next step is 40. Gianni called the topping, shorted the stock. That's it. Basic 101 day trading for us. Ready for another one? This one will blow you away. Imagine if you were an option trader in here instead of that pathetic rooms where the guy thinks, oh, I know what's going on. Really? Did you get this call today? No. It's because you don't understand analysts, so your people only can follow what we do. I want you to look at this call. This got a nice upgrade this morning. All right, from a tier 1 analyst, 360 price target. You want to see what I told everyone to do this morning in pre-market? You ready? I told everyone to buy the stock and buy 315 weekly calls. It says right there. 30 minutes before the opening bell, buy 315 weekly calls. Can you name anyone that can fucking do that? Did your chat room do that? I believe those calls were 50 cents, and you could have sold them at $6 or $7 today. I believe you could have made 1,500% on your money. All because I do my homework. I've been trading for 16 years. This is what I do. Okay? So you want to see the stock? It doesn't matter where it dropped, pulled, or whatever. I told you to buy 315 weekly calls. It hit 316. Would have made you 1,000% return on your money. Just for being in the right room. I'll show you one more, and we'll call it a day. Williams-Sonoma. Now this one really caught me kind of, I don't know, a little bit off guard in the sense that I didn't understand the sell-off this morning. And I'm going to study this after the bell. I need to kind of just sit at it and look at it. I know I got bag holders. I'll give you that. But and they're all down here. But the earnings were pretty good. I think with the problem that I did a little bit more research, the problem I had with it is they decided not to issue full year guidance. I think they want to, they're going to do something on their guidance, something different. And it really caused a really stall in stock. But this morning in pre-market, I just looked at it when it started to sell off. And I was looking at yesterday's close around 57, 57.50. And I just told the chat room, you have to buy this stock. I'm sorry. And here's the bell right here. I said pre-market, buy at 57. I think my call was 57.30, 57.50 on it. And Williamson number right here. Yeah, 57.50, and I'll take you to 60. And I just wanted people to make quick money on it. I felt it was a discounted trade. And so if you bought pre-market right here, 57.60, 57.50, 57 right here, 46, 48, 49, 50, 52, 75. Plenty of opportunity to get in. And as soon as the bell opened, 59.40. So a nice 2-point trade right out of the gate. I thought that was really, really a nice little reward for everyone. And lastly, I do want to address NVIDIA. I was listening to a webinar the other day from another chat room, and I have to tell you, to listen to somebody who charges money from people, and not, I listened to it and I was just, when NVIDIA bought MLNX about 10 days ago, all right, that was huge. I've been trading MLNX for years, and they are an amazing company. And by NVIDIA buying that company, it just catapulted NVIDIA to, it's a $200 stock. And it was interesting, and why I'm addressing this because the stupidity and ignorance of somebody who's been in the trading for a couple of years, 5 years, whatever, and to tell people, I wouldn't buy the stock. I don't know why it's going up. It literally, if you listen to the webinar the guy did, it took him 10 minutes to figure out what NVIDIA bought. He didn't even know the stock ticker. And for somebody who trades the stock almost every day, you just kind of look at it like, are you stupid? And that clearly told me that the trader that runs a room that charges all this money doesn't really understand the market, doesn't understand different type of companies. And for me, NVIDIA was a buy. And I told everyone 10 days ago, buy NVIDIA. Now, did I think the stock was going to run to 185 in a short period of time? Not really. I think the Google news added it with AMD and so forth, but this is just a monster run. And investors are seeing the true value of NVIDIA now. MLX was a big, big coup. And the next time a merger goes through like that, and I tell you this is big, you all need to pay attention. Because at $150 when we started this stock, imagine if you would have bought 200 calls at 25 cents and you piled on, and now they're worth 15 bucks. Game changer. You see my point? Being in the right room that understands the stock and tells you not to short against it, it just kind of shows you what kind of caliber room you're in. Understanding the company they bought was huge. But you got to do your homework. And even beyond that, you have to be seasoned. That's why you can't trust yourself with somebody less than 5 years, 6 years in the business. They're still green. They're newbies. It took me 10, 15 years to get to where I am. And I'm still going places, but you can't screw people out of money because you have lack of knowledge. And just want to shut up. Okay. I want to thank you for joining us on this great webinar. I hope you learned a lot. I hope I was able to teach you. There's no reason for me to sell you DVDs and webinar services and all this other crap. For me as a person, I'd rather just sell you what I do and show you, because you're paying money every day to come in this room. But I want you to know that, if you don't know something, ask. I'm here to help you. All right. And I know these lessons are very valuable. And I think the more you learn this stuff and learn how the game is played, the bigger and more money you're going to make. I want everyone to do day trading full time. But you're going to need a teacher. You're going to need someone to guide you through your journey and help you get where you want to go. That's my job. And I enjoy it every day because I'm surrounded by great people like Darkside, Jenny, B Trades, Fire, Raphael, Palmer, Dave the Trader. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful that I have people that just constantly talk about the room all day long. And it's just, thank you. But if you don't want to be a part of the room, just click here. And it's $25 for a day, $100 for a week, and $197 for a month. And if you sign up and you go for 197, after a week or a day, I give you back that money. Also, we have our Discord room. We're growing every day. Currently, Discord is just a growing. It's free to get into, and 1,036 members in there. 211 online constantly. Almost 300 coming. Just growing every day. You also have YouTube. Listen, I actually listen to my own self when I hike. It's a nice 30-minute listen, and it's really, really nice. They're there for you every day. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed it. And Etna's at 100. Excellent. Thank you, Ripster. I want to thank you for joining us today. I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to this webinar. Very grateful. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? All right, bye-bye.